Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast of the Visions, a Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions podcast. This is our first episode. I'm Nurgent from Visipoor, and with me I have,
So I'm Zefira from Cetra.
Quis is also from Visipoor.
Jay from Cetra.
and the goal of this podcast is we're gonna bring all of us more guests and just a different point of view than is typically out there on different topics of War of the Visions. So one of the biggest things that's going on right now is limited guild battle. So we all, as you know, we're always battling for the top in guild battle between our two guilds. So this gave us a different taste of guild battle because we are in different groups.
Mm-hmm.
So we never get to face each other. So we can share tips. We can poke fun at each other's scores and not have to worry about facing each other's wrath until, we face each other again.
Yeah.
But
I call it a vacation. Actually.
yeah. 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 So have you guys used the supports a lot in this?
No, we actually haven't. I think we haven't even used a single support, and that was because we were trying to figure out the point system. So we were trying to figure out if less attacks equaled more points. So yesterday, Jay actually did a complete knockout with 30 attacks left. So we one-shot everyone, and we still got the same amount of points, I think, as the day prior, right, Jay?
No, we got the maximum 2782.
Okay.
To be the maximum amount of points. We had less points the first day.
But the first day we went against a guild that was 28 out of 30.
Yes.
So we weren't sure if that also influenced the point system.
Okay. Yeah, we did the first day just to see what it was, because something new. All right, let's go. Let's see what we got here, and and they're interesting, right? I could see why a lot of guilds would need it. We had Buki get 10 stars because we kept refreshing him. Or no, it was yesterday. Today was 6, and he wanted to get more, but we cleared the board before he had a chance to have anybody else attack.
I was curious about that. If we can get more stars.
Yeah, I was joking on my stream actually about how someone from one guild should just try to solo an entire guild with their comp. Just keep refreshing that team over and over again.
We're going to do that. We're going to do that with Merlo once we're going to take hers until someone can or can't do it. I think it's Merlo's turn because Buki failed after twice today or whatever. He was just trying to have fun with it. I mean,
yeah,
so awesome.
have as much fun as possible.
Yeah. So
smack.
yeah, we won. Was it the first day? It was what 90 to 69 or something like that, and we had yesterday. It was what was the points?
It was 87 to 23.
Yeah, and we got the same. Yeah, we got the same score. So. We used supports. We had different attacks remaining. We had different points scored. We had different everything, and it just, we were on a couple of Discords this morning trying to figure out what and why, and why we would get the same exact score, but we'll never know.
Yeah. Even in my stream, people were mentioning how some guilds that have 1 win and 1 loss are actually ahead of guilds that have 2 wins. So the point system just doesn't seem. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's consistent.
Yeah, I think
or it isn't clear.
Yeah. They lost yesterday, or no, the day before, and then the second day they won, but they got 3,000 points, which seems ridiculous.
Wow. 3,000 for winning.
Yeah, it must be if you're, maybe rank difference or something like that. But I could see why some of the other guilds, right? If you win, if you get cleared, you get better rewards. And for guilds that might have a couple people have stronger teams, giving up, if you're the guy who set Mont or you have an anti-mage team and there's no mages on the other side, you can go and give your attacks to somebody who will clear. So the odds of getting that clear. There's also one called Cast that we've used, and completely reset? Is it resets all abilities or just one charge on all your abilities?
I think it's all of them because they got guts back. Well, the important ones, right? They got guts, they got bells, they got zombie TMR. I mean, do you need anything else really?
Yeah, you just if you have, you just go and you've got a full roster. And so even if you like, let's say you int or crashed on your first attack and you have one available, even though you can't attack, you can still use it for support. So if
Yeah,
you're
basically.
and so if you're trying to clear your guild, you should probably use those to your advantage. Um, but what are some of the weird comps or some of the mistakes you've probably seen that advice you'd want to give out to people?
Never leave a single vision card slot empty. Like I think that's like the biggest one because like that is such a huge loss.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll use all of your slots. Find a way to use an Esper, like an MR Esper. Like if you have Christmas Venera using Malboro, because that's a magic resist up and strike up, and I think that's a Esper that not a lot of people think of.
Hmm.
And like Jay, even here, he's come up with a comp with the new Water Gunner for gunner comps, and that allows you to use all like 3 UR vision cards. So you can get creative. I would just not leave any single thing empty.
Yeah, I feel like vision cards are a lot more important than some of the other stuff.
Yeah,
Agreed. Yeah. I think one thing people could learn from is be more tactical with their attacks because I see a lot of people open fresh, crash, get 1 or 2, and then just attack another fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless that cops something you can beat, why not just finish that one off and then go from there?
yeah, we've noticed a lot of people haven't been chaining, and that's a common tactic, used in regular guild battle to help, especially on weaker teams. Just hit the open team. If everyone gets 3, you're gonna clear. So it doesn't matter if you get 5 and they get less. But guess what? If everyone averages 3, you're gonna clear. And you know, and that
I
that might
think.
be another thing. Some guilds. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, some old school advice also back before scouting using like a friend code was a thing. I know I used to scout using whatever their offensive comp was. So
Mhm.
for people that are having scouting issues, you can always look at what they used on offense the day prior because it seems like a lot of people are using the same offense and defense in limited right now as well.
Yeah, I definitely saw that a lot.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. Yeah, I've been doing that too.
Yeah, if you get a bunch of defenses, maybe you should run that comp, you know, or the opposite. If your offense does really well and your defense isn't doing very well, flip it out. Um, and the other thing I noticed is I don't know if it's because everyone wants to run anti-gunner, but we've seen a lot of anti-gunner um, and not a lot of gunner to take advantage of the map, right? You'll see everyone's got their anti-gunner and nobody's got taking advantage of that. Or you see a ton of evade but it's not full evade, so then when you then add that um,
A little bit of accuracy.
accuracy, yeah, it just from the map bonus you can hit everybody, and it's not um it's almost like just throw them on.
Well, I think also the 540 limited can also be constraint for some people. For the fact is that they may not have the vision, I mean the pots, the level of them, the gill or whatever, or even have the cards or the shards. That could be an issue for some guilds. Again, some may not, like the higher end ones. But yeah, I mean, people can do the best as they can sometimes. And of course, always mock, but I don't know how often or how many people are mocking for this event because again, it's just for Viz. Maybe some bracket rights, but overall, yeah, if you can kind of mix those two in, you can do much more with what you have.
Yeah, yeah, the other big thing is like what we do in normal guild battle is um, if you're having problems where your defense is getting cleared, try and get everyone to put the same type of comp. There's only so many. The whole idea of a wall is you can only the hope is everyone's going to run a difference of composition. So you're going to have people, evade, running full evade is pretty hard, especially on this map with maybe some of the lower guilds. But even then, using like ton of Pierce, whether it's Kane or Glacial or Victoria, that way, some or units that can cross the map easily, or make sure you run Vow and do some simple things so that okay, well, my comp when you mock it or these comps, I can clear it with these 2 types, but not these 3 types. Well, if everyone's running it, they're not going to clear because you've got a whole bunch of comps that can't beat that build, and you're hoping that somebody can run it. And especially with weaker units, they're those kind of things are, I think, much more advantageous in this guild battle.
Another thing that I was, because I don't, and it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts, but I don't know if I 100% believe in the way that they just organized all the groups, like based off of like max level units. Because like if you look at all the guilds that are currently in the top 10, none of us are really in the same league or group together. Like I think in our group we have Salt and Pepper, but like, do you guys have anyone that's in from the top 10 in your group? Because I know like Overlords, for example, the closest that was to them is like Honeybee Inn, and they're like in the top 20-ish area, or like 10 to 20. So
Yeah,
it almost doesn't feel like. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we had Chocobo Force, and I think they were top 20 as well. I've seen them hover around. And yeah, I don't know the rhyme or reason of how good Gumi did it. Maybe it could just be like one got A, two got B or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It just I was curious to how that was actually organized.
Yeah, some leagues you can recognize a lot of the top teams in that we face, and like ours, I don't think we've faced anybody in it in guild battle in quite some time, that I can remember off the top of my head. So I don't, I enjoy it though. It's nice that it gets maybe it should be maybe they should do it where it's maybe there's a handicap, maybe it's maybe it's everybody's gear, and I've seen other games and other game modes do it, but if they could do like every time you equip anything it's +5, or everyone starts from this, all your units are immediately job 15 max skills, so you just set your comp and it's automatically maxed out. You put that level 1 Shiva card on, and now you've got a level 99, so it kind of evens out the playing field, and you get to play with some of the higher end cards because everything in comps, or or maybe even a pool, right, where you could say, here you've got all of these units in TMRs, because see, that's still like, okay, you don't have bells, you know yeah, if you had level 1 bells it would be 20, but guess what, you don't have it, so you can't use it. I think it would be fun if they implemented that, so you had maybe 10 units, or some of these kind of like some more of these tournament rules that they
it
they put in.
becomes truly more strategy than just basically having all the top stuff and blowing your way through.
And we're even we're seeing that now with what Bajitas is running. He comes up with some comps and it's just destroying everything in our you try and mock something, you're like, okay, this defense is good. I think it's yeah, I can test it against everything and it works great. I can clear all the gunners with it. It can clear evade, can clear all this stuff, right? And then can you guys test and go, oh, I cleared it easy. Everyone was healthy. What did you use? Oh, it was a jank comp. Oh, okay, well, can it clear anything else, or did you just build something to beat my comp with it? But it's there's always a way, right, to build a comp or find units that can clear something, and you can do that. And if you can do that, I'm sure you can find, and now that the guild battle's out, look at all the comps, look at the battle records of everybody, look at the defenses and stuff like that, and see what's running. A lot of people are running Gunner, a lot of people are running, Agrius and other things. So pick something that'll work. And the other thing that I don't know if a lot of people do is if there's a comp you want to try and beat, set it yourself, put it on your own defense, and then try and fight it.
Yeah.
I don't, a lot of people are like, hey, can somebody put this up or can somebody put that up? And unless your skill toggles are different between your offense and defense, just throw it up yourself and test it. So you can do a lot of that self-scouting.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
feel more people don't do that.
yeah, I think in normal guild battles, and maybe you guys can relate to this, but when you do walls, it's like some of your members will test, but they are testing against your wall and like the specifics that you've created.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's showtime, and they're like, "Oh, I can beat our wall comp," and it's like no one's running our wall comp. Like, and it's like, well, did you like set your own defense to something else and test against that? And it's like, no, I didn't have time, which I totally understand. And I think that's like one of the flaws of like running wall defenses is that you're not giving some of your members the opportunity to like test against other comps. So like Jay, usually at the end of guild battles, he'll set up a gunner defense. I will set up a magic defense just so some people have an opportunity to attack against a different comp. But yeah, we've been really drilling into people. Hey, switch up your defense, test against yourself.
Yeah. So the comp I shared you on your stream with the one shot of the gunners. So I noticed mine. So that comp on the last guild battle map, I made that with the triple gunner. It was Fred, Niv, Luartha. Lucia worked as well, but Luartha is so much more damage on it, especially with all the Agrius. She's the one who's always, going to see the tank first. So it was nuts. But then because I didn't have Blades of Grass, I used the side chick card because at the time that was the best card out there. So I noticed when the first class match was out that was a 540 comp. So when this guild battle came up, I went back, got the old comp, put it in, tested it. I'm like, it's not working the same. I used to, buff, 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 bam, next, please. And it wasn't doing it. Well, it's because all the different ability toggles and support abilities were all different and everything. And so at least doing that one mock I was able to kind of figure out what it was. But then I'd sit there and mock against that. And I try and find a comp that can actually get across the map before like my whole team got one shot and without using Thancred or some ridiculous missile resist and try and try and try and try. And then, okay, great, I beat it. And then I go test against a different one. Fail. Can't even, it's just because the way the units are, the way everything is. And then you go against another comp and realize, wow, they've got, oh, well, their Niv quickens, so I'm done because it's the same. So it's, it's nice because I get to try that one comp against multiple, but when you have a wall or when you have defenses, try to think of other ways of how it could run because yeah, you might sit okay, I mocked and I got 6 stars on everybody. I cleared everybody, just refresh the attacks. Then you go to real guild battle and you got 1 star and you're done for the night because the abilities are different. Like we had, who was it, a couple nights ago? Somebody had a Vow of Love on Fred. So, well, I forgot who it was, but they were like, yeah, they got obliterated because then it was triple gunner, but because Fred was on the bottom of the temple, so everybody was going towards them, ignoring all the other gunners, and the 2 snipers were just pew 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 from up top. And of course, they all went and destroyed Fred, but the damage was done. They weren't healthy enough to do a second attack, and it you never know what you see out there. So anybody, that's the one great thing about this game is you can come up with any different composition with the same set. You can have, the top 5 or 10, players rosters, and they all come up with something different when you tell them build this style comp, like build a gunner comp, and they all come up with something different, whether it operates or different units and you gotta expect that, especially when you have and that's the hard thing as well. You got a lot of um, how to use and how to build, right, videos and stuff like that, and yeah, a lot of people use it, but on the flip side, a lot of people go and play with it and tweak it. And also you might have what we used to run into all the time during raiding, which was you'd set your team for the raid and you'd forget to switch it back before guild lock in. And you're like, why is my rain not tanking? He's not casting hate. He's just running up casting Firaga on people or jamming thrust, and they just nuked all my other team. And Rain's like, hey, what's up? And it
Siren.
yeah, that was we run. We don't have we don't have that now. But what if you did set it and didn't turn on the little ability to set ability for each game mode, right? Then it you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot. And maybe in the opposite, maybe you're beating teams who are expecting your team to work one way, and because you forgot to put the range up on your gunners, and now they're just going to sit back and buff, and then you move into range, and then bam, now you've got even more powerful gunners that just kills them, and you win or lose depending on what side you're on. But,
Yeah, that's nice to see the confidence scouting, but you don't know the cards, you don't know the toggles, so it could work completely different.
yeah, and we're seeing a lot, especially with these guilds. There's how did I enter? So one of the are you guys doing anything? I mean, aside anything fun or different other than just like I mean, outside of you're trying to call the perfect match, but you doing anything more like laid back, or anything to add some spice into your guild battle for the week?
I think each coordinator is trying to go for a perfect match now. Like I think tomorrow is Cecil, and then we also have Anus, and I know Cecil wants to do a perfect match. They tried to pull that.
They've been me, so
yeah, and like I will never go for that perfect match. I'm too lazy. That takes too much pressure, too much coordination. But I want to do more like we said earlier, try to get someone that can like just keep buffing them and have them one shot. See how many stars one single team can get. Looks like that sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're thinking about that. Actually, on our end, we're just gonna go the opposite way. We're trying to be as casual as possible. We're trying to do a board, and then we're actually doing something like a slap bet. But like basically, you can pick it, attack whoever you want. If you crash, you lose a letter from your name. So people on Discord like go from like lie to lie. Bookie became book. So like yeah, people are like
okay,
harassing and harassing people to see if they crash or not. But they get that letter back and they get a 6. Unassisted 6, and so like no supplies, no attacks. That's how we're doing it.
Yeah, so that's why. So when I saw on your stream, Death was in there, but he was Deet, because he lost a letter, and so we had to of course make fun of him because Soul lost. He goes, oh man, he said, what was it the first time? I'm picking this guy, and if I crash, you might as well boot me from the guild. And what did he do? So that's what we're like, nah.
He would quit.
Yeah, he would quit. Yeah. So that was fun. So we, so then we started that, and then it was, Death and Bejesus were doing. Baj wanted to hit Death's letters, and Death wanted to steal the little honeybee inn sign that he still has in his name. He goes, I want that, and so the bet was Baj had to do an unassisted 6-star using Howlet on this map.
Mont.
Oh, Mont. Oh, yeah. He did it. He won.
No, he lost. He only got 4. He crashed.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. So that was yesterday. Yeah, he did the Mont. What was it? It was like it was three.
Grace
Dario.
and Dario, I think,
Yeah, so the first day Baj won, but then yesterday, yeah, he lost with the Mont. Um, yeah, that was so it's trying to keep it light, keep it where we're essentially we're battling with ourselves with some of this stuff just so that we can get through it. I know there's some guilds who are looking for the number one. We don't hey, if the Visior would be great, for the whole guild. That's 60K Viz, for what, second place, and 2,500 I think for first place. So it's you get 15K more just for win, just for one spot, for your guild. So there's it'd be nice to have some of the lower level guilds win because they could probably use it, and especially
Yeah,
with
so some
FF10.
yeah.
That would be nice, but again, you lose, right now, right? We're stuck. You guys are in 3 still, or are you in 2?
We're 3 right
3,
now.
yeah, and we're stuck at
Yeah.
2 because again, the points, and who knows how many we've gotten the same points, and you guys got less points last time than you did the other time, and other people got more, and so unless you face off, you might end up getting no chance to even go for your title. So, and then you're going to get people, we're better than, and you get all that, which is, it's cool. It would be great to be able to, fight some of these guilds on a, on this limited or more regular basis, because even, that kind of helps bring it down. Oh, you want to use all cost 100 units? Guess what? You got to use rare vision cards, and you're probably not going to do so well. Or no vision cards.
I'd love to see a limited only MR limited guild battle. Like you can only
Yeah.
use MR units because I'm sure like even a lot of whale people will fail because not a lot of people focus on the MR units.
Yeah, that would be great for guild battle. But one thing, so one of the things the Visipoor has done in the past couple what was it, a couple weeks, for those who don't know, is we're kind of joined, community wise. Like Cetra has its own community of multiple guilds, like Sector 7 Slums has a community. So we've kind of partnered up with the Disney or DNY community with Pandora and all them, because they've got players who want to be more competitive. We have players who want to be more casual, and it kind of works at that, moving up and moving down kind of thing, as needed. Like right now, we have one member, Raj, who is filling in for somebody who left, and he's like, I want to go back into retirement. So he's, hanging around, so as when we can have the other spot. So it's not like a full, but one of the things that they're doing, which is nice, is they're doing a MR only tournament. So I think it's closed for the registration, but they're I don't know if it was public or not, but they're going to do a bracketed tournament. It's MR only, everything. No UR equipment, units, vision cards, or espers. And it's going to be a friendly match. It's auto only. So there's no, manual screw ups or anything. It's all auto battle. And there's, I think, 55 people, last I checked, signed up for it. So, that's pretty cool. And I think that would be nice to have maybe some of those scheduled for some of the maybe some of the top guilds, is have a have a guild battle where maybe that would be fun to stream, is having like top
MR
e-
only unit comps.
yeah,
Like a
everybody
vanilla schedule. Yeah.
yeah, everybody send out, every guild can put up to 5 people in as a representative, from your guild, and then, try and get the top, 15 guilds in guild battle to, have everybody join in a tournament, and have crazy restrictions, each day even. Okay, day 1 is you can only use, water units, or you can only use, MR only, or the opposite. Maybe it's only UR, which some people might say that's great, but not everyone's got UR weapons to go on a unit. So that could kind of, okay, well, you have a gunner. Well, you're not putting bells on that gunner because you want to use Luartha's weapon because it's the best, the only weapon you can, really throw at them. So, that adds, even more crazy builds, and So I think something like that, some of these things would be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah. So we'll have it after the 1 year. We'll have Mont required. So
Not required.
build your 120 Mont, because we have to have a boulder throw, or whatever they're calling a boulder
Super light
toss, or
throw.
yeah, 100% hit. Gives him a concussion, and stuns for 20 minutes and all that stuff. So
Was any other MR unit getting EX at anniversary as well?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look up all that. That's a great topic for probably one of the next videos, is to look at. So in the schedule, right, we're going through our, as people call it, our trap units, trying to drain your Viz before, which actually the Halloween units were probably that, because they were pretty generous with the step ups here. So, and the 9 steps were great. The guaranteed pulls on the paid were great. And, so, and then I think we get probably another raid, and then we get a vision card. So we've only got about, less than 3 weeks until the 1 year anniversary. So,
Yeah, I'm
probably talk.
actually. I think. Well, in JP, I think it went from like the units we have right now, and then it was Titus and Una.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's how their anniversary schedule went. But we actually are supposed to get, I think, a new unit on the 17th of this
Oh
month.
wow, really?
Yeah, I think so, right? Because that was be 2 weeks.
Something else.
But they might skip a week.
I think they had one
Yeah.
vision card come out right before anniversary, right, in JP.
Yeah, they had. It was that. It was like that one that supported water units.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
that
it
would
got-
be next week. Yeah, but I think unless I'm wrong with time, because I know they have the live stream at like March 20th.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be due for a unit right on the 17th. I might be getting the calendar mixed up.
But they've skipped weeks before, I think.
Yeah, because like next Wednesday will be the 10th, so that's probably a vision card. Then the 17th we would expect a unit, but I don't know what unit that would be, since the 24th I think is when they're going to plan to do like Una and Titus.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because they're going to do because they're also going to do a trial, right? They got to do a trial reckoning for the Una Titus. So they I don't have they ever had raids or events like that back to back, or they always gave you that week off of farming?
I don't think they've ever done a raid like back to back or an event like that.
I don't think so.
So we're probably getting what, Golem this week or next week, and then probably a week off, and then, or yeah, probably one of either next week or the week after, because we got to get. I think Golem's, is that the last raid up?
I think Golem is the next raid, and then if you remember the last reset when Siren ended, they actually messed up, and instead of Siren it said Golem.
Mhm.
So I think maybe that could have been a hint that like Golem's going to be the next raid, and I think that makes sense with the schedule.
Yeah,
'Cause, I
especially
mean,
when
they
they re-released all those units that were.
Halloween units.
Yeah, maybe they re-release next week the Exorcist Vision card, and I actually get a chance to pull it. But
Yeah, I finished that one at like 85. I was like
Oh.
50 shards short from maxing it. I didn't grind the whimsy enough.
it was like Blades of Grass. Everyone in Eden, hey, it's only a whale card. You don't really need that. It's not really useful. Only whales will get it. And of course, there's a couple notable players that got it, and they're like, "Why, you guys didn't get it?" It's like,
Mine's not max, actually. Jay
Yeah.
actually recently shamed me. Mine's at 85.
Yeah, I've got the same, and I don't have Exorcist because it's like, right? You're like, oh well, I didn't have Ruin Stern at the time. Didn't have them. Didn't pull them. Never thought I was gonna, ever pull them or max them, and yeah. I pulled him on some random banner, and then I pulled him, and then, you get his shards and you get those select tickets, and then now you're like, oh, well, I don't have Exorcist. I guess the Dark Slash raid teams, which would have been better with that card.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe they'll rerun it because they rerun the Halloween. But, maybe it's in filler.
But I knew I would eventually get it.
Yeah, next Halloween. But
Oh,
they'll have something else ridiculous that'll come out probably by then. I mean, I hope they don't give us any more of the Valentine's unit, because then that's going to be another off event EX unit that they're going to have to rerun to give us the EX jobs. So I don't think they would bother giving us that.
For their 1 year anniversary, they reran Christmas Marjorie. So maybe we'll get a Christmas rerun and have the ability to EX those. That's when I pulled both of them. I was telling myself there's a chance that we might be able to EX them at anniversary since they did rerun those.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't. All I'm looking forward to is the Warrior of Light banner, so that I can actually pull him, because that's the one unit that I spent way too much Visipoor on and didn't even come. I maxed my death machine without even needing to whimsy the shards. It's just
Wow.
yeah, I went the Eden way of maxing out a unit on that. So
I need
it
Agrius to come back so I can just finally have her.
what? Oh, see, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's
I
like
got.
the biggest joke in my guild.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how can you? What do you do? You run Warrior of Light in the Agrius comps,
Yeah, I usually use a Warrior of Light, or I'll try to alter it in some way so it still does the purpose.
or you'll
Yeah,
be.
for it.
Yeah, there's like a ongoing joke in the Cetra Guild where we make a wall and Agrius is in it. It's usually Alex will call me out and be like, "What are you gonna do, Zeph?"
Yeah, yeah. We have a couple. We have a couple of those.
Oh,
You know, like, hey, you can't run that.
when are you joining? So Nurgent, when are you joining our Warrior of Light Walls?
Let's see, Merlo Vade. What did I do? I ran Raldor, right? Show Raldor. People will go, oh, I'll just hit him. Oh, he's an evade Raldor with the evade up and all that stuff. And I got a couple defenses off of that. Try and trick him up. I think I did a Venera, a Christmas Venera. I did an Agrius, but yeah, it's just try to hopefully go with the same theme of the wall, but use a different
Make it a
unit.
trap.
Yeah, that's maybe I should run Mont next time.
RR in our guild was actually pretty big on making traps. So he'd like set a unit, make a new team. The first unit would make people think, oh, it's going to be like X comp. But in reality, he like created a comp with that unit to counter. But
I tried that once. So I made the same showing unit, and I made I think it was Gunners I think it was Gunners showing like Leela or something. I can't remember what it was, but then I flipped and it was like Ruin Stern and somebody else, but it was the same exact attack and magic value. But because of the different espers and the gear, I actually didn't max his golden blade, because then the attack was the same. But yeah, that didn't work. So didn't fall for it. So, but yeah, that's you try as you know now with Agrius and Warrior of Light here, you try to build around. You don't always get you don't always pull the unit on the first step up, or the first pity, which has been my luck the past couple units. With Raldor and Luartha and Sakura and all them, it's gotten insane luck. But for every time you get lucky, there's going to be that unit that just nope, not going to get it. So I guess we're going to try and get together, whether it's all of us, some of us, every at least once a week, maybe more if there's more topics, probably especially around when guild battle starts back up, 1 year anniversary. But there's so many other topics we can talk about. If there's anything anyone can think of that they want to hear a different point of view on, any guests, any just general topics, any questions, leave them in the comments, reach out on any one of the many discords that all of us are on. We're always very accessible to everyone. drop by Visipoor Cetra's Discord, drop by the War of the Visions Guild Community Discord, which some people call Elite Cord or GG Cord.
GG
Most of us
Cord.
are most of us are on there. So reach out. We'll talk. About anything War of the Visions related. Anything you guys want to hear. We'll try to make it. In a not showing. Showing units and stuff like that, because something again you guys want to listen to in the background, or play in your car or something like that. There's not always that place. We want you to just put on something and listen to it. Not be distracted while you're driving and trying to watch videos or anything like that. Being a good citizen, because that's bad. Don't do that. But yeah, I guess
Having us. This was fun.
yeah. Well, I've got.
Shameless.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm going to do a shameless plug for Zefira. He just started a Twitch channel for
Yep.
War of the Visions Show and Guild battles. Please follow him. He's very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
It's
the link is right. We'll do this. The link is down there, right? You can see. Well, no, so he's down there, but it's even under there, right? So, yeah,
thank you for that.
yeah, and we'll put links up on that. And yeah, anybody who wants to even have a sounding board, if you want to join the panel, feel free to reach out. It'd be great to talk to different people in the community. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
You.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you soon. Bye.